What's going on, everybody? Happy Friday.
Big dog.
Reed, how you doing?
Big dog.
How's
Uh,
Chattanooga?
it was good, dude. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you perfectly.
Okay.
Beautiful
For
voice.
some reason, I can't type. Um, yeah, no, dude, it was good. The weather was decent, and yeah, we had a good time.
Are you guys road showing?
No,
Or just having
no,
a...
Megan and I are considering moving there.
Oh,
Um,
really?
yeah, so I took her out there to see it. Um,
Wow. Okay.
yeah, so
That'd be a big change.
yeah, it might be time to make some moves here, so we'll see. Um,
Justin should come on. Justin should join us today.
invite him.
Let's see. Let me send him the link.
Oof. I am not off to a hot start this morning.
Not
I,
me neither. I woke up, my eyes were swollen. I don't know what the hell is going on.
everyone I know is sick right now. Every single person. My kids are sick. Everywhere I go, everyone's sick. So you know what they say
Okay.
though, there's something going around. That's like what you say when you're a parent. Like you're talking to other parents and like your kids are sick and they're like, "Oh, I really think something's going around," you know? Like that's what you got to say.
There is something going around, and like I have been able to, I think, fortunately get uh stay far from it. I've been
Yeah.
just literally like locked in my room for like the last freaking week. I also was like an ice rink here too in Chicago, so like I just didn't want to leave. Like literally there was, I think it was 2 days ago. I was coming back and there just was a thick slab of ice everywhere you went, on the streets, everywhere, sidewalks. I definitely almost uh, landed in the hospital for sure. That was pretty bad.
That's awesome.
Yeah, pretty awesome, I gotta say, for sure. So, what else? So,
Dude, have you played?
would Megan think of Chattanooga?
Oh, she liked it. Yeah, she liked it. It was I think yeah, she really hasn't been down there. We actually when we moved from Boston to Phoenix, we drove through Tennessee and
Hmm.
we went to Pigeon Forge, which is like it's like south of Knoxville. It's like in the kind of in the mountains in Tennessee, and it's like a kind of a theme park place. And we
Okay.
went to the Titanic Museum there,
Oh,
and
I didn't know they had one.
it was actually like pretty good. It was not what you would expect to find there, but it
What
was
would
it was it was cool.
what would you not expect to find at the Knoxville Titanic Museum?
Well, I don't know, man. Anyone who knows Pigeon Forge, like apparently it's a thing. I don't. I mean, it's kind of I guess it's more of a local thing. I had never heard of it, but Dolly Parton has like her theme park there.
Okay.
So it's a place to go, I guess. So
We
um,
we have we have Jessica asking here how someone can get a
oh,
bike.
oh yeah, yeah. I haven't ordered. I only ordered like 12 of these, so I don't have any more. But I might do another run here soon, and I can let you know, Jessica.
So are these visors made in America, or would we be having import tariffs?
Um, yeah, they are made in the USA, baby. They're Imperial. These are the best visors.
There
So
it is. That's
yeah,
all the more reason to get a visor.
yeah. No tariffs on these babies. No
Yeah,
tariffs.
it's a good discount at the moment. So I think there was there was this week a pause of all, I think, USPS postal packages. I know my girlfriend was saying that she had some packages coming in from China, and they had like paused. She didn't know what the heck was going to go on, but from what I heard, that I think that resumed. I don't know, like you're more on the e-commerce side of things. I don't know if you...
No, I've not paid attention to anything. All I know is that China is responsible for like a huge volume of our like air freight. They were using some sort of like loophole to send like e-commerce shipments via air freight for like really
Yeah.
cheap. Somebody who's more educated on this than me could correct me if I'm getting that wrong, but I'm pretty
Me as
sure that's
well.
what was happening.
Me as well. The extent to which I know it, it's like something. There was like this loophole of anything below $800 was what classified as the special sort of shipment class or whatever, and I think it wouldn't get tariffs imposed. That's basically how Timu and this
Yeah,
other,
yeah.
I forgot what other company it was, were basically
Alibaba,
getting. I don't think it
Sheen,
was,
Sheen. Isn't it
maybe
called
it,
Sheen?
maybe it was that one.
I've never even heard of that, but I've seen people talking about it. Is that I don't even know if that's how you say it. Sheen. Yeah.
I have.
New, new women's clothing. Oh, wow.
Let me see real quick. We have to. We have to have. Hold on 1 second.
I'm gonna shoot
I'm
Justin
gonna-
the link right now. He's
I
coming
sent
on.
it to him on Slack, but I don't know if he checked the Slack. So my eyes are very, very swollen, and it looks ridiculous right now. But anyway, what else happened this week? So there's a lot. I mean, we have a
Have you played with this
very.
Replit agent thing?
Have I? Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
It's pretty incredible. It's I would say that I had the chance to try Devon months ago, and then there was Replit as well. And the one thing I noticed was that Replit was very like specific in terms of like the tools and tech that it used. What's up, Justin?
More than everybody.
I
What up,
liked
Justin?
it a lot. It was really good. The only thing is that it asks you for screenshots of what is showing up on the browser, which I found to be a
What?
little bit annoying.
Replit?
Yeah, it's
Replit?
like, hey,
I
can you
mean, it
confirm?
does it
Can you
auto it,
confirm?
it does it automatically now. It
It
takes its
does.
own screenshot. Yeah, yeah. So you don't have to do anything. It just does it. It's
That's
like
sweet.
part of the process. Yeah.
Very. Yeah, I think that prototyping just in general is going to be awesome going forward because you can just literally type up what you want, and at the end of the day, you'll still need. It's still at the state right now where you still need to kind of like integrate it into your code base, but like for sure, if you're starting from scratch, they are basically rolling out the. There's an app. Apple. There's an app for everything, and then Replit's basically like you can make an app for everything type of thing.
I think in the future you'll be able to like literally design your own, have your own custom version of every app that exists.
I agree. I agree. I've been talking a
Yeah.
lot about actually about that, obviously from more like a freight specific standpoint, but I think there will be at least they have this concept. Replit has this concept of remixes, which is
Yeah.
what's previously known as like forking. So in the
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you make your own version of a version that somebody else made, and
Yeah.
the remixes are going to be pretty cool. And I think there will be a kind of like an app store version of, you know, of Replit Replit apps effectively. But Justin, have you tried this out?
No, I've been reading a little bit on it. The danger you run into with stuff like that is the way these things work is like they're taking bits and pieces from stuff that other people have made, but then eventually you're gonna run out of like that raw material to draw from. So you're gonna run into like the Disney Star Wars problem of like everything that they're making now is just self-referential, and so it's like stuck in this like slop feedback loop. So unless you still have people out there like coming up with the crazy like whiz bang ideas to like trickle into these models.
Well,
Great point. Kind of
well,
actually.
dude, I mean, but the thing is like, yeah, a ton of scrap is going to get created, but there's no way that doesn't happen. That's just
Oh yeah, no, yeah,
reality. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
Yeah.
Like whenever you make it easy for people to make stuff, a ton of people are going to make stuff, and most of it's going to suck. Like
yeah.
that's like, there's no way around that. That's
Pareto
just
Pareto distributions are like impossible to
yeah. I mean, it's
sneak
like a
your way out
law
of.
of nature. Like
Yeah,
it's and you can't have the good ones without all the shitty ones.
yeah,
It
no,
just
100%.
doesn't. It don't work.
I like the fact that it like lowers the barrier to entry because I took a little bit of programming in high school and I knew then like just was not for me. But kind of like how tools like Canva and everything, lowered the barrier to entry for like graphic design. Like I'm not a trained
Yeah,
graphics
yeah.
designer at all, but
I
even
hate
I can
Canva,
like
by the way.
slap together a logo on Canva.
I hate
Dude,
Canva. I cannot stand Canva.
how?
I love Canva.
Why?
I I'm used to the granularity of tools, and going back from, like, let's say Figma to Canva is incredibly difficult for me to deal with. But probably not ever using or dealing with Figma first, and then wanting to do certain things, basic things. Canva is probably a great place to start. But I just get so frustrated with Canva, like incredibly
Yeah, I mean
frustrated.
they're definitely different products for sure. I like Figma, but Figma gives me like the bell curve meme, like Fig, like
Yeah,
all
Figma's
the Figma's in the middle, bro. It is. I mean,
for
Canva is
me, it's on the
cracked. Like,
opposite sides, and Canva's in the middle. For me, it's like I'm like
uh,
every time I try to use Canva, because obviously all you guys use it, and it's like am I stupid? Like this has to be easier than it really is right now, and I just always find myself going back to Figma.
Justin,
I'm
do you
I'm
subscribe to
probably
Meme Lord?
no actually. So I've tried it a little bit and I like what he's doing. I'm just like with Christian with Figma earlier. I've been making memes in Canva for so long now that
Yeah,
like I have
it's
that
hard to
muscle
disrupt
memory.
your
Like
workflow.
I've got it dialed in. I can copy paste now. If so, the woman who founded
Dude,
Canva, she's like one of the first, or I think the only
she's like the
self-made
richest
female.
woman in the world, isn't
Yeah,
she?
and not through divorce. Like many women that are on that list, they get on that list because they were married to a billionaire, then they got divorced and they took half the money. But this woman is like the first like self-made Silicon Valley billionaire. And I've joked that like
Yeah.
Canva could be $1 trillion company in a year if they just took like three of my ideas, which are with
Oh
Photoshop.
yeah.
If you right click and copy on an image and then you go to Photoshop and you hit open new document, it reads what's in your clipboard and
But
it
yeah,
knows if there's an image. And so when you make a new image, it already has like the size of the image. And so Canva doesn't do that. Every single time you like copy paste a new image into Canva, you have to like manually type in like the size of the image that you're trying to create. And if they would just like steal that idea from Photoshop, that would like save. I mean, not a whole lot of time, but like over time, that would save me hours per year.
the one thing that I felt so far like Canva is missing out on, maybe they might add this, but if I could just at the very least, if I could at least describe like what I'm gonna try to make, and what I need it for, so that it at least gives me it configures like my canvas, I guess. To like the thing I have the hardest time grasping is how you need to define every single size of an
You can do
thing
that
that you
in
can work with.
ChatGPT. Go to ChatGPT and open up a Canva GPT in there. Tell it what you want to make, and it'll make like a dummy version of that. And
Oh,
you can open up that file in Canva and just plug in your own stuff.
I've
look at that.
literally never used that. I have never used that. How do you
Yeah.
use that?
Let's see.
Um,
Where
go
is it?
into
It's not an obvious feature. If I've missed it this long,
go into
where is it?
ChatGPT.
Oh, in
Let's see.
ChatGPT. Oh, I
Yeah.
thought you said Canva.
No. So
Oh, okay.
These are some
ChatGPT, and then over in the
meme
top
making
left where it's
secrets right now.
yeah, if you go to the search and you type in Canva in the GPTs, there's like a Canva plugin. Yeah, go to Explore GPTs, type in Canva, and then you just tell it like, I want to make a birthday card invite, or I want to make a banner for my website, or I want
Interesting.
this or that, and
That's
it'll make
crazy.
like a dummy version of it, and then you plug in your own stuff.
Wow. We shall try.
Interesting.
We shall try. Maybe I don't hate Canva as much after
Dude,
this.
Christian, have you used this new Mistral one?
It's just another model, but no, not really.
Did you use it yesterday?
No, I
I
haven't.
think it just came out. It is like the code generation is like near instant. It's like you type something in and it in a second the whole thing is done. Like
So
multiple files.
Really?
Hmm.
Okay,
Yeah,
I gotta
it's
try
like
it. I gotta try it
ridiculously
tomorrow.
fast.
The closest one that I've personally tried is Grok with a Q, and
Oh yeah.
that one is stupid fast. I mean, that one is stupid fast with like any of the open source LLMs that are out there. But that, yeah, by far that is the best, the fastest one, and kind of like the most usable one so far that I've seen. But Mistral, if it came out yesterday, then no, I haven't.
Have you
I have
tried
not tried
the
it out.
Chinese one, DeepSeek?
Yeah, then there's obviously DeepSeek too, but like I've been hearing some pretty um, mixed mixed feelings about that. Like a lot of people were complaining about like how difficult it is to like actually get it to work. Like the kind of the hosting the companies that host those models,
Hmm.
they were
I
just
have it running locally, not the full version. I have like the
a smaller one.
9 billion parameter one or whatever.
Yeah, a smaller one.
Yeah,
It's pretty powerful, and I think that I think it got people kind of mobilized a little bit, which is great. Because then OpenAI came out with this deep researcher, and supposedly I haven't personally tried it yet, but Will was telling me the other day that he tried it, and it's pretty crazy. It is quite good.
I'm not like a code guy, so I never use it for coding. But I'll give it like an idea for something, and I'll say like, rewrite the dialogue in this scene of a movie, but in the context of X, Y, and Z. And most of them do a pretty good job of doing that. Sometimes you still gotta like tweak it up because it just the the way it, like there's not like an accent, but there's like a style of how all these things speak, and it just doesn't, it never quite feels natural.
one thing I was doing this week was I wanted to be able to like talk more because when you prompt, kind of writing out long prompts is like really annoying sometimes,
Yeah,
and I would prefer to just like speak. And
super
so
whisper.
yeah, dude, have you used it?
It's pretty good. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
pretty
it's really
nice.
good. It's like really good.
So there's
I've been
this
using it a lot now.
so there's
Voice
this
back and
thing
forth.
called vibe coding now, where it's basically
That's where I did you find it on that tweet?
Vibe
so
coding.
there's a couple of people that are talking about it now. I don't know which exact one which
The
exact tweet it was.
Andre Carpathy one.
Carpathy,
Like
yeah,
that
yeah.
tweet, that's where I found out about Super Whisper. That was that was the top of the funnel for me.
And you just like, and it's so crazy now that so for context, Andre Carpathy used to be like the head of AI at Tesla. Like he is the lowest level guy that I know. He's like in the weeds, in the details of all this stuff. And he made a post. He made a post basically saying that he didn't touch the keyboard, like almost essentially at all. And he calls it vibe coding, or it's being called vibe coding, where it's you just talking, and
Yeah, it's pretty chill.
make whatever the hell you want. And
Bro,
it's
doing that with the Replit agent, like if you pair those two together,
yeah,
I'm like I built this like whole e-commerce storefront. I have this business idea for this like really fucking insane e-commerce site. But and so I wanted to try to build the prototype with Replit, and
yeah,
it basically did it without, and I didn't see the code once. I didn't even look at it. I don't
yeah.
even know what framework it's using. I have no clue.
See
Yeah,
that would be my like, why I wouldn't want to use this stuff, because like say I make something cool with it and then I toss out in the wild, people find ways to break it. I have no idea how it works, so I have no idea how to fix it either.
right.
Yeah,
It's
well,
not, but the thing is that it's not like, look, it's not like a self-driving truck. It's not safety critical shit here. It's like if something breaks, like somebody, especially if you don't charge for it right away, it's like it's effectively there's really no problem with it. Plus, you can put a disclaimer like, "Hey, this was like generated. Like, I don't know what I'm doing here. Like use at your own, um, use with caution or some shit like that."
Yeah, I still see this stuff as like a good way to create content, and not so much, I wouldn't want to put all your business eggs in one basket with this stuff, because like
No,
again, like so
definitely not.
you build a storefront for your website using one of these things, and then now your orders are getting messed up, and it's like I have no idea how to fix it.
Yeah. We're not at that point yet. That's definitely where an engineer is 100% still needed. And
Yeah.
I mean, we use it all the time. At
I,
Shipper's Room, and like
I
I
just
need
think,
to review everything.
dude, it's gonna figure it out. It's gonna be fine. The vibes will prevail.
Vibes, hopefully will prevail.
They will, man. There's just no way they don't. Like, I just don't.
Turns everything up on its head. Like once, if that's, if it gets to that point, not if. It's more so a matter of when. We might still be a while away from that point, but at the very least, I'm hearing a lot of people moving away from prototyping visually to just simply prototyping in any of these code generator apps, and it's getting them. It's much better to have a prototype that you can kind of try to talk about a concept with than it is about just working with like an image of something too.
Yeah, some people are better at like they're visual learners. I could like tell my wife how I want to move something around in the room. She's got no idea how it's going to look, but then like I take a picture and move stuff around, and then she gets it.
Paul was good, dude.
What's going on, man?
I like the wall.
The brick wall. It's actually a green wall here, so it looks good. It's this green background.
Paul the Wall.
Paul, they used to call me Paul the Wall. This call. Paul the Wall. That was my nickname. How's everyone doing? What are the topics here that we're discussing?
Talking about how much I hated Canva, and then Justin told me a breakthrough method of generating a Canva canvas that I don't want to die over. Like with ChatGPT. Paul, have you done that before?
What did you just say?
I don't know. I woke up not too long ago. With ChatGPT,
you guys were all talking about being sick.
Tell Canva what you want, like what kind of canvas you want. Just get it started for you. So I didn't know that.
Paul, what's on your mind, bro?
That email I sent to you today. I don't know if you want to talk about that or not. That screenshot.
Oh, no, it's all good.
I'm on the website right now, and I just wanted to see what's going on.
How do they look? Cracked? They look really dialed in, or what?
I would give it like 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10. I mean, it's like
I might start a competing product with Replit AI. Compete with myself.
With which one?
Replit, the new Replit agent.
What's that?
Oh, dude,
helps build apps. Like
you can basically like not even code at all and build stuff. It's cool.
Yeah,
you should play with it. You should play with it. Honestly, Paul, like you might be able to come up with some cool shit.
You said rep. Oh, I see it here. Replit.
Yeah, Replit.
Build apps and sizes AI. Damn. Turn your ideas into apps with AI. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Alrighty. Well,
remember like when iPhones first came out and everybody had like a fart app, a beer app, this is going to be like a new generation, a new wave of Zoomers like recreating all these shitty early iPhone apps.
Or they're going to be like that, but they're going to be a lot better. So instead of just farting, it could do.
They're going to use AI to fart.
Yeah.
Fart Copilot.
Dude, imagine if like one day you could fart like on an app and it actually smells bad too.
Dude, I saw a tweet yesterday that was a dude like used like his prompt to the Replit agent was like create an app that tracks my push-ups and gives me like feedback based on video I submit to it, and it was pretty dope. I'll send you guys the tweet. It like built the whole damn thing.
Nice.
It is quite.
I need to use this to resurrect some like old Twitter bots that I used to follow. There was this incredible one called, I think it was called Lifts One More Than You, and what it would do is it would just constantly search Twitter for people posting about their workouts, and then like whatever numbers they posted, it would just add 1 to that number.
We should do that to Lombard. We should make one of those for Lombard.
Good.
Just troll him.
So every tweet was like somebody like, yeah, man, I did like seven sets of 5 today, and then the bot would just be like, oh yeah, I did 8 sets of 9.
Chill. What is there any like I feel like I don't really pay much attention to a lot of freight news these days, so I don't have any idea what's going on.
It's all tariffs and
What's going
de
on?
minimis
We'll
being
give you a breakdown of
overturned.
the Freight Cadre newsletter.
Yeah, I gotta open it up this morning. Is it sent yet?
Yeah, 8 a.m. Central Time every Monday or every Monday through Friday.
All right, I gotta open it up. I gotta open it up.
So what happens to Temu from now with de minimis being gone? Because that was like pretty much the only way they could run profitably, right?
Effectively.
With what?
De minimis. So like any shipments over $800, they didn't have to pay duty on.
Oh,
so that's how they
yeah,
were, shipping all that cheap stuff over here.
yeah.
My mom's crushed. She uses Temu all the time. She does like lots of arts and craft stuff, and it's like a third of the cost versus her like driving down to her local Hobby Lobby.
So, has she seen it? Like in terms of like prices gone up, or are they not available right now?
I haven't talked about. It's been a couple of days since I talked to my mom. Both my parents are actually really sick. They caught whatever else is going around.
Hope they feel better.
Yeah, they're at that age now where it's like when they say they're getting sick, it's like weeks of recovery, not just a couple of days.
Oh boy. I mean, I think it's over for Temu. I would
So
think.
like their entire. I wonder what percent of their business is U.S.
It's probably a large portion. I mean, I wouldn't say it's over for them. I think they just have to restructure. I mean, they're a mess. They built so many warehouses in the U.S. and like, I don't know, they got to figure something out. I think at the end of the day, their products are going to get more expensive. Will it still be able to compete with Chinese goods? Or I mean, with American goods? Probably. I mean, I feel like the Chinese are going to figure.
Have you bought anything from there?
I have never bought anything. I once bought something from China. This is like in 2011, and they were like knockoff, like Tisa hats. I'm not sure if you remember like those Tisa hats back in the day, like snapbacks. And I was like selling them like for like, I bought them for $10 a pop, and I think I was selling them for $40 a pop. And they were like online for like $80, the real ones, and you couldn't even tell like they were fake.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff there is like it's not even knockoffs. It's like worse than knockoffs. But the app itself was like what terrified me when my wife like first got it and she was ordering stuff. She sent me the link to download the app and I put it on, and it's like immediately like gamification, spin the wheel, text your friends, feed your fish, blah blah blah. And it's like I just want to order stuff. This is all before you even get to look at products.
I get so many Instagram ads from I think Temu, like with their like various products, which actually seem very practical and useful. Like having like instead of like having to use what is it called when you wipe your like the snow off like your car, you can just like blow it, with a like I don't know air blower, and it looked really cool. They would have very satisfying Instagram ads from like just looking at what they're doing, like the products, like what they do.
These are actually really good fans, by the way. Very powerful.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, exactly. You have one of those. Boom.
Yeah.
What is that thing?
What do you use it for, Justin?
Mostly just dusting off my computer or annoying my dog.
Okay. Use it on snow yet or no?
We get like a dusting every once in a while. Where I'm at in Jersey, like maybe once or twice per season we'll get some snow. But I didn't actually use this. It's funny because I bought it and I never saw those ads of them blowing snow off the car. And then now I see that ad all the time. And I'm like, damn, I could have used it for this.
Yeah.
That thing blows snow? Is it powerful?
Yeah. So there's a little...
Put it on, Justin. Let's see how it works.
I don't want to blow out the microphone, but...
You're good. Powerful.
It's powerful.
What the fuck?
What is that, like a jet engine on there?
It's like a hairdryer. It looks like a hairdryer.
Yeah, there's a tiny... It's hard to see on the video, but there's like little prop turbo blades in there.
Is it like a jet engine?
Yeah, and then there's like a little funnel that it that it comes with. So the air, when it comes out, just shoots out this little spot. And there's ones like even more powerful. This thing was like $8. I bought this one and another one for like 16, and it has like an even taller, thicker battery with like a more like pinched nozzle.
And they should have in China, right?
Yeah.
They should. Okay, so like, how much did it cost for shipping from China? Do you remember? And how long did it take?
Not much because I bought them together. I think, like I said, I think total I spent maybe less than $30 for both of these.
Okay, and how long did it take from the time you ordered it? Do you think it was already in the U.S. or was it like from China shipped?
No, it was
like,
from China. It took like 5 days to arrive.
Oh wow! Oh, so they did like a lot of air freight, and it's light. So,
Yeah.
like, I'm wondering now, like, will they just like kind of like ship it through like another Southeast like Asian country or another Asian country where it just like funneling through them so that there's no fee, being paid?
Laundering the import.
Yeah, basically. I mean, I guess instead of it coming directly from China, it could come from the Philippines or Vietnam.
That's what I was gonna say. The Philippines is basically gonna be like the next warehouse of China.
Yeah, there we go. So I guess
I asked Perplexity what percent of Timu's revenue the U.S. is. It says, I mean, who knows I don't know if their numbers are public at all, but it says 40% of the revenue is from the U.S.
And then what, like 40% is from Europe?
It used to be 60, but I guess they've diversified. Yeah, I just have never I've never felt like, oh man, I need to go buy something from there. I guess I just never. I don't know. I mean, I never buy anything from Amazon either, so I guess maybe that's my problem.
It's very handy for like stocking stuffers around Christmas time. Like I said, the only reason I bought this thing is because there was a thread on Twitter where they were talking about the fan blades in here, and people were wondering whether or not these were stamped or actually CNC'd individually. And my guess would be they're stamped because I don't see any like milling marks or anything on there. Because people were trying to like see like how much it would cost to build something like this in the U.S. And they're like, even the CNC machine time alone would be like hundreds of dollars just to cut one of those blades out.
Do you guys think? I mean, are we gonna see manufacturing move here in any like real way? Like, is that a real thing, or is this just like some hype here?
I personally think it's cope. I mean, China has had decades to build what they have now. What's their superpower is basically like when they want to build an assembly line, they don't necessarily have just the factory. They have the factory and all the parts that the factory needs all within one centralized location. And here we don't have that. All our stuff is like widely distributed.
They also they also can make decisions around the energy input for pretty much all their factories, and they just don't they don't care there around like the environment or anything like that, and it really definitely obviously gives them an energy advantage that's like way harder to pull off here, for sure. Even though majority of the kind of would say like the amount of pollution comes out of China compared to us or anywhere else.
It's like it's just like way more.
Yeah,
so
comparable.
Like what's interesting is like we've been covering it for the last couple of years, like large corporations like Apple and other companies have been trying to get away from China, or like at least like move at least some of their supply chain to like Vietnam and India. And one of like the issues like a lot of these companies have is like Vietnam and India don't have the infrastructure in place like China does to make the products as high quality and for as low of a price as they do. So it's difficult to leave China.
Yeah,
I think everything
also
everything goes by like the path of least resistance, and at least for now and for the foreseeable future, it's just easier to build in China. Unfortunately,
as far as I'm aware, as long as you start to build a factory,
China's got according to Perplexity has double the energy production capacity that we do. And I bet you they're going like this and we're just like this. Yeah. Because we've been like scared to like actually add real resources to our energy production. And everyone's been focused on like building windmills and shit. and like we got to just like not do that.
That's very common with a lot of countries once they develop. Is like, when you're in an agrarian society, you're just burning wood and coal to keep the lights on, and then you advance a little bit, and then next generation comes along and they kind of like living in a nice clean area, and so they don't ever want to like revert back to like that dirty energy, so to speak. And
Yeah.
it's
In Poland.
China's having that problem now where all the kids born in this last generation, Japan calls them hikikomori, which is like they're like hermit shut-ins. China has the same problem, but they're called like the lie down generation. They just kind of like they've given up. They don't care. You're not really gonna like push them or motivate them.
And they're blaming that on the environment.
It's just like how societies have like progressed. Like you went from like the medieval era to like industrial era.
Now you just think of that meme that like hard times create hard men and create good. Yeah, that thing. Yeah.
And you see that with like energy production too. It's like you went from burning dirty stuff to like keep the lights on to you had nuclear, but then all the fears about nuclear took off and everyone's trying to look for alternatives. But even the best solar panels and the best windmills and et cetera, it just can't match nuclear.
Yeah, it's like not even close. I like windmills. I'm a windmill respecter. Like windmills have done a lot for humanity, but like
they look pretty cool.
I mean, like let's like get serious here.
Got a lot of birds too, supposedly.
Tons. There was actually a book called State of Fear by Michael Crichton. He wrote a couple years before he died, and it was like every paragraph was just like the most boomer talking point ever. Of like,
is that the Jurassic Park guy?
Yeah.
Yo, what's his name again? Crichton?
Michael Crichton, yeah.
Dude, it's so funny you say that. I was listening to Cal Newport podcast today, and he brought up Michael Crichton, and I've never heard of him before. And you're bringing up
he wrote Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. He was friends with Cal Newport, and like Cal brought him up in a podcast, nice. Like the one I was listening to today. Damn, he's taller than me. He's like 6'9".
Yeah. He was one of my favorite authors of all time, and in that book State of Fear, it was about like environmental terrorism run amok, and every page in that book is like him debunking like environmental myths left and right. And reading it at the time, I was like, oh wow, this guy's like saying a lot of stuff like people aren't talking about. And I mean, that book was like almost 15 years ago, I think, at this point. And like when you go back and you read it now, a lot of that stuff he was warning about is kind of like really finally starting to take off.
Dude, this is random, but he was married 5 times.
Wow.
Yeah, that's wild.
I imagine being married to him was very difficult.
Yeah, it seemed like every marriage only lasted a few years. But rest in peace, Michael Crichton.
Throat cancer.
Yeah. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
He's probably tobacco all day long.
Mm-hmm. He also started the series ER, a medical drama.
No way. Okay.
Yeah, so that was his like he was I don't think he was a doctor, but he had like a PhD in like some kind of medical field. And so a lot of his early books were all about like health drama and stuff. And then he kind of switched gears into like techno thrillers. So when he wrote Jurassic Park, it was all about like the new frontier of DNA research. Then he wrote a book on time travel. Then he wrote a book on shrinking stuff. That I don't know. Some of his books are like amazing, and then other ones you read them and you're like, this is just crap. And I don't know how many manuscripts he had when he died, but they're still cranking out like new Michael Crichton books like every other year.
That's cool. Very cool.
I'm on Freightwaves right now, and they've got check this out.
Pull it up.
They've look at this ad at the top of the page. Can you guys see this?
Yeah, I just pulled it up. I've seen that
one. All right, do me a favor. Click on any random article. I want to see if you have this same bug. Watch the video.
Does it bring it up full screen?
So, okay, it didn't this time. It does a lot for me. I don't know who to talk to.
I always get the subscribe thing, and it loads up very slowly. Let's just to subscribe to like the Freight Broad Watch stuff.
I'm clicking on this ad, dude. Who controls your data? The DAT dilemma. Did we ever
Shady.
find out if that bit they were making a big deal about in the DAT terms of service was like was that has that always been in there, or was that a recent change?
I think that was a recent change. There's a recent change, I think, like right when, correct me if I'm wrong, when they acquired Trucker Tools. I believe that was like brand new, but I might be wrong. So take that as a grain of salt. But it seemed like it coincided with the acquisition, like all along, like that.
Is that something they added to themselves, or was that like part of Trucker Tools' terms of service?
I have no idea. I have no idea. We should bring on Carrie and talk to her about it.
Yeah, that's yeah, it seems interesting. I don't yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like a lot of people just sign it and don't even read it, dude. Do people read these things?
Nobody
Like,
reads those things. That's why South Park did a whole bit on the user license.
yeah, the
agreements.
human wasn't that the human centipede episode?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, well, who controls your data? Good question.
Yeah. I guess whoever has it, right?
What can you do?
Well, it makes sense. Like if it's a free product, they always say, like with social media, says like Facebook, Twitter, etc. If you're not paying for something, you're the product. But if I'm paying DAT or anyone really, and they're getting my data, like I want to know what they're doing with it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it really depends. Like, I guess some people won't care. It's like a lot of brokers are probably whatever, whereas some brokers might be upset about it. And I feel like if you're upset about it and you talk to the AT, they'll probably get rid of it. Like in their contract, I think at the end of the day they're gonna prioritize maintaining that relationship with the broker. And so it's good that Freightwaves is like bringing it up and exposing it, and because like no one reads like terms and conditions. You just like click accept and go move on. So
I think there's a case to be made, or like just around the fact that like people, companies' data doesn't. They sit on this data, and it's really valuable. It's valuable for everybody to kind of have it be aggregated by somebody, but these companies don't get really any compensation for it. And I've always felt like that should be the case, because a product where that data is aggregated is more helpful to everybody than a product that doesn't exist that does that. I'm not defending DAT in this case, because DAT doesn't let's say compensate any of these companies for their data. I just think that there's there's value in that data, and whoever contributes should be, I feel like, compensated appropriately in that case. But
there's a security aspect of it too. Not enough people have had their data leaked by China, and it shows. I was a DoD contractor from 2010 to 2014, and when 2015 the Office of Personnel Management was hacked, everybody with a security clearance from like 2009 to 2015, your name, date of birth, social security number, your fingerprints, every address basically every information I had to give to the government to get a security clearance, China has now. And so because of that, I have to have credit monitoring for the rest of my life, because anytime China wants to, they can, fuck with my identity.
Is there how Elon has that like Chinese clone? Is there like a Chinese clone of Justin in in China? He's got like all the credit cards. Like he's got a big beard. Like, although I feel like
if there
maybe
is,
there
he's
is.
doing a great job. He's doing a great job with my credit history, because I have a pretty good credit score.
Yeah, we should definitely go out to China.
I would totally go to China, dude.
Oh,
we should do a Freight Gong Friday in China. I'm pretty sure gongs originated from China. Like, imagine if we were to just did a Freight Gong Friday alive in China. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's
in mainland
India?
China.
Isn't Zildjian like the big gong company now?
I don't know.
Zildjian.
Oh, not just my first and last name. There used to be a website called howmanyofme.com, and you could punch in like your first and last name, and it'd tell you like how many people have your same name. There's like 27,000 Justin Martins out there.
There's no Paul Bernard Jaroslavsky out there, but there is a Paul Jaroslavsky out there, and he's also tall. And like he like took like the tall Paul username from me from like I think it was in Twitter back in the day, like 20 years ago, and he's from Ontario, Paul Jaroslavsky, but there's no Paul Bernard Jaroslavsky, so
That's funny.
only PBJ out there.
On Facebook, there's like a private Justin Martin Facebook group where we all just add each other.
That's hilarious.
We're
That's so
up to
funny.
like 1,200 people now.
I think like for me having like such a unique name where no one else has it makes it like more difficult to like steal my identity, because like you could just Google like my name and it's like you'll see only images of me, and I'm also 6'8", so like whoever's stealing my identity has to be super tall probably. Well, I don't know how it works, but
Yeah. Well, that's yeah. I don't know.
I feel like
That's cool.
If you're a boy born in the early 80s, you had like a 50-50 shot at being named Justin.
That's true.
And if you're a girl,
Except
you had
Justin's a
50-50 shot at being
classical name
named...
too, dude. Justinian.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's your name has roots, bro.
Yeah, and if you were a girl, you had a 50-50 shot at being named Amanda.
or Adam.
Adam, Adam's a good one.
50-50. Or
when we were in
Kyle.
the
Like
hospital.
I want to meet the first person named Kyle. Who's the first person named Kyle? What year did that occur?
Like a
in?
monster? Was he born with a
Like,
monster?
yeah,
cannon in his
like-
hand? Just
To
punch
be
him
Like I
in
feel
the
like
wall.
Kyle is like that name didn't exist before like 1985. I'm convinced.
Funny.
I
When
don't
we were
know.
at the hospital for my son's birth, they asked us like what we were naming him, and we said Sullivan, and they were like, all the nurses were like, "Oh, thank God, not another Braxton." I guess Braxton. Braxton is the new Aiden. It's just like 80% of all boys now are born named Braxton.
That's
Dude,
cool.
I want to like my kid whenever he's born like an old school name. I feel like
Paul.
No, like maybe like Arthur, Henry. I don't know. Like I'm just like looking at like old fashioned baby names right now. So like I wouldn't probably choose one of those, but like something that's like old and like not many people have.
Vlad. I think Vlad would be a great name.
Vladimir, dude. Like I would say like a third of like Ukraine is like Vlad's, or like it's there's a lot of them. Oh, like Vladimir, Voldemort. There's also like a Voldemort name. I don't know.
Voldemort?
There's like and like President Zelensky. His real name is like Voldemir. It's yeah. Here I could pull it up here on 1 second. Share screen. So this is how you spell his name, Voldemir. Voldemir. Zelensky. That's how you spell his name. So it's like Voldemort.
And what's that Wolody at the end?
Volody. Oh, this is Polish spelling.
Oh,
yeah. I just
Volodymyr.
because I'm in Poland, it's got the Polish spelling.
Boys, I gotta go.
Likewise. All right, guys.
Take care, Reed.
Thanks, Justin, for coming.
Oh, anytime.
See you
Take care,
guys.
everyone.
All right, guys. See ya.
Take care.